They
As we're
would.
walking,
Mhm.
I'm gonna get close to Nina and under my breath, just enough that she hears it a little bit, but I'm gonna attempt and see what happens of casting Death Ward and
Okay.
see if the magic works.
Okay. Oops.
Because seeing her being different and off, I can see her running in balls to the wall. So,
Yeah.
give it a protection.
Fireballs to the walls.
Okay. You cast Death Ward. The guards kind of swivel back and around the group of you. It's easy to kind of be able to do this quite sneakily, um, especially with the amount of crowd movement and everything around. Um, they lead you back towards the northern area and back to an area where you see almost like pens, um, caged off areas where you see some large, unusual creatures. You've not, well, actually, roll me history checks. Um,
7.
okay.
7.
Hey!
13.
Okay.
11.
All right. Nina and Nathan, both of you have seen, or at least seen pictures of these creatures before. Hill giants, you've seen a hill giant and a minotaur off to the left in one of these cages. And then they're both kind of just seated. The minotaur seems to be kind of pacing back and forth, whereas the hill giant's just kind of seated off in the corner, just kind of picking something up, kind of flip it in the air a bit, and then picks it up and gnaws on it. And you realize it's like a human leg. Before he kind of beats the ground a few times with it. You continue on. You see a normal human in this pen, um, just kind of seated, arms on their knees, just kind of looking up at all of you, eyes just kind of trailing as you pass by. You see two guards before you with the current escort. They just kind of, their eyes follow you as the group of you are led into this kind of courtyard little area, with a nice little fountain, and the sound of the crowd is still there, very prevalent, but it starts to dim a bit as you continue to follow these guards. The rest of the guards break off behind you, and only the one guard continues forward as the group of you step down a stairwell and into a tavern like area. Very nice tavern. Uh, Stonework along the ground and along the walls. A nice table along the middle. You see a single bar, with a servant behind it, mixing drinks, cleaning cups. And he looks at you, eyes so very briefly, and seemingly trained to view and look back down. and continues cleaning. And you see a long table in the middle of this room. At the end of it, you see an older woman in a black dress. And behind her stands a very large orc. Older, very well-kept beard, well-formed tusks, and the most notable thing about this orc is the fitted suit. Very well-tailored shirt, suit pants, suit jacket. Fitted and well shows off the muscular form of this very imposing orc that stands behind this older, smaller frame of a woman who sits at the end of this table. Her gaze just kind of lifts towards the group of you, eyes just looking up, and she just holds like a tumbler in her hand with like an amber liquid in it and just kind of swirls it a bit, head tilted to the side. And this is who you see. You see this older woman seated, waiting, and the guard continues to walk forward and winds up walking past towards the wall. A little ways behind, you do see a large ogre standing along the wall, seated on an abnormally large like stool, kind of like one leg half on, one half off. The individual looks up at all of you, specifically connects eyes with Nathan, and gestures towards the chairs.
As a player, I am very sorry.
Do it.
Nathan is literally around the table. He will immediately throat punch the orc next to her as hard as he can for his first attack, and be grabbing onto her throat with the other.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a attack.
Oh, I love you today, Dice. So the first one's a nat 20
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
for a 29.
Okay. Oh, come on. Hold on, I gotta refresh roll 20. It's
Yeah, you started
Oh wait, this is unarmed. Sorry, let me start
lagging
that.
again.
23. 23 altogether.
23. Okay. This computer. Okay. 23.
Actually, hang on 2 seconds. I want to check something. Nope, never mind. Okay.
Okay. Well, 23 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
And it's just to basically stun and incapacitate.
Okay.
Because the damage is 0.
Okay. With 0 damage, so you definitely catch him. You catch him. This is an individual that was expecting. So you hit him.
Yep.
And the face definitely gets jarred to the side.
For him, I was specifically going like for the throat. So it was like right to the throat to kind of stun him for that second to let me get to her.
Okay. Okay.
So nat 20 on him, 23 on her. Is that the?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. I gotta open
And
this
23
up
is a
elsewhere.
grapple for her. Or sorry, 21. 21 is a grapple for her.
Okay.
The guitar music on this. Such a vibe.
Hold on. I've got my laptop open. I gotta open shit on here. Because my main computer is not doing it.
I'm sorry, guys.
No.
We're here for it.
Yeah, that's
You do you.
exactly what the your character would do.
For, I guess, scene's sake, this is literally her.
Yeah. When
Okay.
Rowan cast Death Ward, did it work? Did we feel like a sense of like the spell settled? Did she get that vibe?
Like that it worked?
Yeah. Or is magic being blocked in here too?
No. Yeah, you got a sense that it worked.
Good to know.
Cool, 'cause
Okay.
Rowan's immediately going to do something too.
You grab. Okay. So I can't open anything. So you grab her.
Sorry, I'll give you a second.
No, you're okay. It's just being silly. So you throat punch him. You see him stagger back a moment. You go to grab her neck. You hear multiple sounds of weapons being drawn as you grip her around the neck. And you see her, she doesn't react. She lets you do what you want to do and sits there for a moment.
He just leans in close and last time I saw you, I promised you I would never see you again alive.
Promises are made to be broken, dear.
Just like this neck. And he kind of looks up at everybody else in the room that just drew swords, essentially. I'm going to assume you all know who I am. Which one of you thinks you can kill me?
You see them all like standing at the ready. The ogre, you hear a creaking as the ogre stands. And then you see the woman set her glass down. And looks at you. Sit down, Nathan. This doesn't have to get ugly. You were invited here for a reason.
You've got 2 sentences to give me a reason to. Make them good.
Your friend dies. If you don't listen to what I have to say. And she holds up her fingers. Allow
He kind
us
of
to
leans in
speak.
a little bit. You do realize that he's better than I am. I don't think you could kill him if you wanted to.
How I've
And if you don't
missed-
believe me, let him loose. But he lets go and takes a few steps back, knowing Nina's behind him.
She...
However, he is fist white-knuckled.
Mhm. She just kind of gestures like this, and the guards just kind of... You hear some resheathing, and you see the ogre sit back down. The orc kind of cricks his neck a bit and realigns himself. And she reaches over and picks up the whiskey glass. Whiskey?
He'll just nod at this point.
And she looks at the server who, wide-eyed, standing there, also white-knuckled, hands wrapped around, like, bottles, suddenly gets a bottle, like, starts reaching for some, puts it on a tray with some glasses, and shakily brings it over and sets it on the table and starts setting glasses down, and she just watches this spectacle and rolls her eyes. How do you like the place? Better than the shithole outside Daggerfort?
I don't know. I never really got to see the outsides.
Well, I burned it to the ground. You're looking good, Nathan.
I always did.
How I've missed that sardonic swagger of yours. The server would nervously pour some whiskey, and she would just kind of hold hers out to him, and he would fill it, and she would, and then he would pass yours forward. What are the rest of you doing? Continue to stand, sit? What are you doing?
Did Nathan sit?
He's kind of standing next to a chair, like fist shaking, basically. He's trying to control himself as much as he can.
Yeah.
In a cage, chained up with a headache.
Yeah.
I think Nina doesn't take a seat until it becomes apparent that, like, that's the only way she's going to get answers. So I think she is doing the same thing, again, standing similar to Nathan behind a chair. If whiskey's set in front of her, she might pick it up, but I think for now she just leaves it on the table and is glaring at this woman.
Chara would very much like. I mean, real talk. Should probably pick the other head of the table chair, and lounge in it. like she's been here before, she knows the people, and she's
Mhm.
relatively uninterested.
Mhm. The waiter would bring a glass, set it in front of you, and fill it with some whiskey as well. And kind of give you a little bit of a nod before moving off.
Rowan's actually going to subtly take a step back to be kind of close to where they entered to basically try to be close to a potential exit that they're going to try and steal us in. So, like, she.
You stand,
She's
yeah, you
walking
stand
along.
at the entrance of the room. You do notice there are guards not too far behind you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they let you stand there for sure. As you kind of mount up against the back of the wall there, kind of leaned against it a bit.
Mm-hmm.
The woman kind of tilts her head at you a bit, and you notice at this point there's a bit of a stiffness to her that wasn't there the last time you had seen her. A bit more of old age has just kind of taken grasp. Whenever she kind of looks, she kind of does that older woman thing where kind of her shoulders move with her and everything. Like there's just a bit of presence around her that seems to have aged a bit more. Sit. We have business to speak of. I didn't bring you here to cause trouble. You've made a life for yourself, clearly. I have a job position for you. Sorry, job proposition. And before you say no, there's more than just coin in it for you. An opportunity to deny a known slave trader crime syndicate of, well, a secondary base of operations.
Nathan at this point would honestly look back at everybody and kind of look to each of you and stop at Nina a little bit, and it's a cry for help. Like, he doesn't know what to do right now. Other than kill everybody in this room.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Can you repeat exactly what she said again?
Yeah. I have a job for you. And before you say no, there's more than just coin in it for you. An opportunity to deny a known slave trade crime syndicate of a secondary base of operations, so to speak.
What makes you think we're interested in a job to stop anything?
I don't. I think you're interested in saving your friend.
And you're giving us one option to do that?
Would you like more? I have 2 friends to offer you. Look, this doesn't have to be nasty. The fact of the matter is, the Xanathar's Guild has had its eye on my business for a while now. Only recently, they've become more insistent. Believe what you want, Nathan, but I have little regard for slave trafficking. It's a cumbersome industry I have no desire dip my tits into. Xanathar Guild wants to use my business as the front for the slave trafficking. I've managed to keep them at bay for the time, however, they're starting to interrupt the revenue stream. And I'll be damned if I let some two-bit half-cock wheedle their way into what I've built.
You've kidnapped 2 people to get us here. To specifically, it sounds like, get Nathan here.
My
And you want
dear.
us to believe that you wouldn't be interested in slave trade. How do we know that you're not just going after Xanathar's business?
I agree. It seems unusual. However, I don't go after slave trade. It is complicated, it is finicky, and I don't want anything to do with it. And
I'd like to insight this.
let's
As
not
do I.
forget, you came to me, darling.
Okay, my insight specifically is around, is she not the wild cards then?
Go ahead and roll.
Like, I want to know if she means, like, she really thought that she was the second card, right? With the
Mhm.
earpiece, not the
Mhm.
first one. Oh, I actually have decent insight. That's a 16.
You do not get the idea that this is a woman that hides behind monikers or things like
Got
that.
it. Okay.
Yeah. This is a businesswoman. This is a very proud woman.
Mm-hmm.
And after she says that, need I remind you, Nathan, you came to me. She sets down her glass and looks at you. I gave you food, I gave you shelter, coin, and a distraction from the emptiness of your past. I gave you something to build on. Not everyone is grateful for such things, I understand. I was harsh on
Save
you.
it, lady. You can try to make the sales pitch again, but it fails every time. You try to say you're not interested in slave trades, but you're willing to keep them.
It's different, darling.
Fed is a very vague term from what I remember, and coin I got none of.
Well, because
Specifically
you
from
left.
you. Yeah, neat. Nonetheless, your tastes, I have an entire story written on my body. You can't sell me this.
I thought as much. Then I won't sell you. I'm offering you an option. Do this or don't. The outcome's up to you.
What's his name? Our supposed friend that you have.
I don't take their names.
How much has changed? Other than you're getting old. How does that feel, bud?
It hurts. Achy joints.
Hmm.
I imagine I have 10 years left in me, if that.
Definitely.
You can be mad all you want. Fact is, you were the best we ever had.
It's because I couldn't die.
Yes, well, the winnings from your and Eve's fights was more than enough to purchase an entire city block, which she kind of gestures to the area around her. Not within Waterdeep, of course. Only an elite few maintain those permits. Just as well, though. Field Wards offers all the traffic of money without the pesky fuckery that city guards and the magistrates bring. Here, I make my own rules.
I think
Tell us the job, give us a friends, we will go do it.
Nina is literally about ready to she like slams her hands down on the table and is about ready to get up as Nathan says that, and she just looks at him like,
That is a 22 for deception.
Okay.
"You're serious? You're considering this?"
I'm sorry, and you're not considering it?
Fuck no. I will burn
Just
this
holds
place
up
to the
one hand and
ground.
puts a finger up. For answer. Mistress.
Oh, it's Madame Denna now. Has a nice ring, don't you think? More respectable,
No.
less whorish.
You can change a name, but not the person.
Here's what I propose. Waterdeep is full of varying criminal guilds. However, there's one that has disappeared years ago, and in recent years has managed to re-emerge as the most prosperous thieves guild in all of Faerun. They're known as the Consortium of the Shadow Thieves, and their new base of operations is south of Athkatla. How they practically run the city behind the scenes. They're cunning, ruthless, cutthroat, and powerful, but they uphold their bargains, and few other syndicates are willing to cross them. They're currently led by a triad who have recently put out an open invitation for any merchants, businesses, or other profitable guilds to vie for membership. I want to be at the top of that list. I want to be considered for consideration for a divisional operation here at my establishment. With the Shadow Thieves back in Waterdeep, Xanathar will have to abandon his plans for my business and shove his own thumb up his own ass.
So you need what exactly?
I want you to go to Athkatla and put me at the top of the list. Convince them to come here. It's up to you.
I have 3 conditions.
I'm listening.
Friend, released both of them now.
The other two?
I'm waiting.
I'll give you one.
We'll give both, and you'll bring him to this room.
Not going to happen, darling.
Oh, it will. Trust me. Mainly for the second reason. You're going to pay a significant number of gold or platinum or both up front for this.
Of course, it's a paid job. Not doing it for free.
Hmm. So I'm waiting.
She looks back towards the orc standing behind her, who nods, walks over behind a desk, pulls out a folder, brings it over, sets it down on the table, and opens it before you. And you see a piece of paper with basically kind of describing everything they want to happen. And at the bottom, you see an agreement where you can sign, and it's to do the said job for 200 platinum.
What else does it say?
Essentially, that it will release the prisoner.
It's,
Well, so it just says one. And for 200 platinum, you are to assure that the Madam's Den will be one of the chosen places that the Shadow's Thief will partner with.
Do you want me to roll anything to make sure it's like that's literally it?
Yeah, roll a intelligence check.
Nina is glowing
16.
gold next to you as she tries to contain this fury.
16. Yeah, you read over this, kind of think about it for a moment, and then eyes really look at it. Based on the way it's written and everything, you don't sense like any kind of arcane or anything nefarious. This seems pretty straightforward, and as you kind of look at it and your eyes bounce up just briefly towards Madame Denna, you just see her watching you kind of expectantly, but not impatiently. And you get a sense that everything on here is, if you do the job, if you manage to convince the Shadowskeep Guild to partner with Madame Den, she will release the prisoner. And pay you 200 platinum for it.
He'll like turn it around and push it. Amend. I want that platinum up front. You're gonna hold a prisoner.
You
Consider it expenses.
see the orc kind of buff up a bit. You should be more respectable, Kerr. And you see Madam just hold up a hand. Enough. You know I hate those monikers. Leave the gimmicky bullshit for the imbeciles in the stands. And you see the orc kind of take a step back. Yes, madam. I'll give you 150 You know what? Fuck it. 200 platinum up front. One of the prisoners
around.
released. One will be kept.
Specifically, the older one.
Of course. I imagine you'll need him.
I will.
Do we have a deal, Mr. Lonergan?
He kind of keeps pointing it towards her, like, up front needs to be written in his contract before I sign it. I know you.
Indeed you do. She kind of gestures, and the orc walks behind again. And you hear him digging around for a bit before he comes over and sets down a chest. Small one. And if you open it, you would see 200 platinum.
He doesn't even open. He just grabs it and
Okay.
slides it back down the table.
Mhm.
Hopefully one of you catch it.
I would catch it as it comes down towards the end.
Yeah, you
He
catch it,
reaches
Tara.
down, signs it, and slides it back at her.
You hear the shift of money, money, money.
I wouldn't open
Signed,
it. I just catch the
Friend,
box.
let us out of here.
She kind of gestures towards the contract. And a quill is set before you.
Yep, Nathan signs it.
She sets down her whiskey glass. Very good.
However, it is very slow writing. He's very
Mhm.
like, Nathan.
Yeah, she just drinks her whiskey. She knows you. And when you finish, she just gives a nod. I'm very sad how it ended.
I don't care.
Your friend will meet you on the outside. You'll need to find your own way to Athletka. Though I don't think that'll be a problem for you. Do me proud, Nathan.
Fuck off. And he turns around and starts walking out.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of leans up, like a little bit towards you, Nina, on the way by, and follow me.
I think she pushes off of the table, and there are burned handprints
Mhm.
in the top of it. Like, you know, those wood tools that you use to like burn designs into wood. Her handprints are just in the tabletop now, as she does exactly that, very forcefully, like screech of chair legs as she pushes back, but she'll follow him.
Madame Denna kind of sips at her whiskey and then looks at you, Chara.
Chara would just like give a slight like tip of the head down the rest of the drink in front of her and then follow.
She kind of
Don't
tip her
forget the
drink.
platinum.
Yes, and
Oh,
I
she
take the
tucked it
platinum
away.
with
Yeah.
me. I forget it for a moment and then I turn around and then I grab it and then I walk away.
Rowan, as your party passes by,
I let them all pass by. Wait to be the last one in the room. And just look her dead in the face. No special emotion showing. Just looking right at her for a sec. And then I turn to leave.
You catch a small smirk start to form as you pass on. As she just seemingly kind of dismisses you. You all follow the guards, who instantly show up once more, and lead you back towards a pen area. Past the cages, down some caged areas, and then towards a side back entrance where you would see Liam standing surrounded by about 4 guards. Chains and manacles on his hands and feet, and he stands there. Just looking at all of you as you approach.
Nina runs forward. Get those off of him now.
You see the guard standing next to him. Just look at you for a moment. Not sure what to do before he looks at the guard that follows behind you and just nods at him. And he pulls out some keys and starts unlocking them. Liam, the heavy iron manacles fall to the ground.
Nina shoves that guard away from him and pulls Liam back and throws him like behind her. We're leaving now. We'll be back when your fucking deal's done.
They would...
You're muted, Liam.
Liam has, well, Liam's player character wonders, did he get his stuff back?
As you come towards the exit, you see all of your things set on a counter. Everyone's. Nathan's weapons, Rowan's, Nina's, Chara's, and Liam's. Liam, your clothes are there, along with your weapons, except for a couple items. Talon is missing.
I'm sorry, what now?
Talon is not among the items.
That is a problem. That is my main weapon. That also means my dagger is down to a normal dagger, not a +2. Okay, this and if I'm not mistaken, I don't have magic anymore either, right?
You don't have any magic from your patron at the moment.
So I have no magic aside from comprehend languages. This is okay.
Which none of your party are aware of this either.
Are we just watching Liam slowly start to internally panic?
Yeah. Pretty much.
So at this point, where are we exactly?
So you guys are... at a back section back here where a set of doors are.
So, DM, how was I dressed again?
Like very base
Potato sack.
Yeah, kind of khaki pants, just a basic white overshirt, but your normal clothes are there before you.
Second question, the shirt. How much of my upper body did it cover?
The majority of it.
Okay.
It's like a long sleeve shirt.
Liam's gonna, while we're standing there, he's gonna take off his shirt and start putting on his like normal clothes.
Mm-hmm.
As he takes it off, uh, who's watching Liam right now? Just out of curiosity. Do I even have to describe this?
Pretty much everybody at this point.
Yeah, they've all got their weapons. They watch you kind of doing a slow, because you're sore. Like, you got knocked pretty hard when they took you down. You go to, and you laid on stone hard floor. You go to put on your normal clothes, and it's kind of like a sore thing that you pull it on. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So he takes off his shirt, and if anyone's watching, the first thing that's noticeable are a number of burn scars on his back, all across like his shoulders. A few stab and cut scars across his like upper body. And if anyone's really paying attention, there's a tattoo on his forearm. And he gets dressed.
What's the
What is
tattoo
the
of?
tattoo?
Yeah.
It is a black mark of a dagger with a domino mask in front of it.
A what mask?
A domino mask. It looks like... No, not like that. You know what? I don't have a good picture that won't give too much away. So, just
Give too much away.
dagger, creature, and then a mask in front of it. Liam gets stressed and takes his one dagger, puts it in his like sheath by his waist, and takes his other stuff.
So, how many guards are around us currently?
There were 4 that were here with Liam, and there were about 5 that escorted you. 1 was leading you, and about 4 others were kind of following back behind.
Okay. How spread out are they?
I mean, the 4 behind you are kind of in like a semicircle behind you. They're probably maybe... I mean, they're probably standing within 5 feet of each other. And then the other 4 are still kind of out, kind of sporadic around and about where Liam is.
And I assume they have to push the gate open us out, obviously.
Oh, yeah. There's a guard by the gate that kind of opens it backward. He has the garb on of the rest of the guards. And you see him just kind of watching all of you, bloodshot eyes, and just nervously looking between everyone. Every time there's a crowd cheer, you see his eyes kind of dart towards the rest of it before he just kind of looks back down at the ground and pushes that door open and kind of stands back.
All right, Nathan will kind of like walk just beside Nina and lean over and just, we either start burning this place to the ground now or later.
I think she casts a glance at Liam and seeing the state that he's in, she goes, "Oh, we're gonna burn it to the ground. But we're gonna come back and make her think that we did what she wanted, and then we're going to take it all away from her.
He will let go of death because he's been holding onto it this whole time and walk out the gate.
Nathan Lonergan walks out the gates of Madame Denna's fighting pit once more. The rest of you follow him.
Yeah, I think Nina has her arm around Liam if he needs help walking, or she's just, next to him for support.
Liam's looking, his eyes are darting everywhere, in part to see what's around him, see if he can find Talon, but also in part to, make sure that no one's, coming for them.
Yeah, you definitely don't see Talon. You see, I mean, the majority of you, the guards are there. As you pass through the gate, they just watch you go. The door closes, and you hear the crowds continue to cheer in the background. Lessen as such as the further you get away.
How much rest do you need, Liam? And Nathan will literally pull both guns and start checking them.
Liam is wobbly. He's trying to get back on his feet. He has a splitting headache, so everything's spinning, so it's hard for him to stand straight. But he's gonna put up his hand and just, I'm good. He is covered in blood though, and his clothes are a bit soaked in it.
Yeah. Nina just says bullshit. We'll find a place, we'll get you some actual food, and we'll make a plan. I don't know where this Ethleka is.
I don't care where it is. I'm coming back here to kill everyone in there, and then I won't care.
I'm not gonna lie. I damn near did something in that room, but I knew we had to get Liam back. I'm not doing a damn thing for that woman.
Liam, where's Terrence? Because that's who we're assuming she has, right?
I don't know. I think I saw him, but and he just puts his hand on his head, and it really hurts.
I'm gonna walk up and slowly reach out to make sure you're okay with me touching the side of your head. And I want to cast Healing Hands.
You don't even have to. Roll me a medicine check.
Natural 20.
Okay, yeah.
7.
You definitely get the sense Liam's physically fine. He's dealing with the aftermath, though, of a concussion and sleeping on a rock hard surface all night and sitting in there wondering and waiting, not sure what was going on. Other things going on in the background, medically, physically, absolutely will survive. There's nothing your magic can knit together. It's more his mentality is hurting. there's things there that you can't do anything about at the moment. All of you, roll me perception checks.
13.
17.
25.
19.
Liam, you gonna roll perception?
Oh, am I doing it too?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all are.
Oh, my bad. Thought I was still in the cage.
What?
Um,
You're with the group.
Yeah, we literally walked out of the gates with you. After
no,
you
it's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke, guys. I've been in the cage the whole night. That's a 13 for me.
13. Okay. Yeah, Chara with your
First roll of the night.
ridiculously high fucking perception, far beyond even your passive perception. You see as you're walking ahead, and you all start to turn the corner of this building, your eye catches on a small rectangular object wedged between a window pane on the building next to it. And as you almost annoyedly walk up to it and pluck it and look at it, you see the W with the red filigree around it. And on the opposite side, you see written on it, "Seek out the Manta Rose."
What the fuck is the Manta Rose?
And you see the signed A.
Goddamn pretty
Asshole.
little liar.
Wild Goose Chase Syndicate.
Is the Manta Rose a place? I don't know.
Guess we'll have
Cool.
to go ask V.
Well, this time it doesn't say to go talk to V about it.
No, it just says to seek it out, and V hasn't steered us wrong so far.
Hmm.
You guys head towards the main gates. I assume you're heading back towards Waterdeep, or anywhere in particular you want to head.
Here's my thing with Waterdeep. Here's my thing with Waterdeep. We still don't know if they are watching us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like really nervous to go back into Waterdeep. Especially with Flick's warnings and all of those things. Like, I feel like a paranoid conspiracy theorist, but at the same time, I just get bad vibes.
I mean, we are near the North Gate. We could just go outside of town and make camp. But I don't know that it's going to be any or less safer, more or less safer.
We are north. We could try to go to the Temple Heronius and seek shelter there. I did want to go there anyways myself at some point.
Do you mind throwing us back on the Waterdeep map?
Yes.
DM? Thank you.
Got it.
I'm supportive of going to the Temple of Heronius.
Yeah, me too.
I kind of feel bad going there, but I'll go.
I mean, it's gonna be real uncomfortable, but
Liam is otherwise preoccupied, so he has no input. Would it be bad to say that he's at a point where, like, basically you guys are carrying him?
no, Nina's been. Yeah, that's what I meant when I was like, I'm there to support you in whatever way you think Liam is bad off. So if you need a whole body, she is like your arms over her
Yeah,
shoulders, lugging you along. Yeah.
He's trying to, like, keep himself up, but he's like,
Yeah.
he's struggling.
In
And, like,
reality, honestly, I think Nathan would be on the other side helping you, knowing what you've been through.
I'm desperately searching for a manta rose. And by a manta rose, I don't know what exactly I'm looking for, but I'm definitely looking for the word just in case.
Oh, what is the first word? Because I heard mint. Did you say a mint?
I heard manta, like a manta ray.
Yeah, but it's manta rose.
Mhm.
Manta. Okay.
It's a flower. Mantarose.
Yes. Specifically written as 2 words on the card.
Manta space rose.
Yes.
Hyphenated.
As you guys
All right,
pass
let's head to the temple.
through the north gate back into Waterdeep.
Can we also take like back roads so that we like aren't getting mugged, but we're not drawing attention from the city guard? I don't want to have to explain Liam's appearance to anyone.
Prestidigitation.
I mean, I can definitely get rid of the blood, but we're still like carrying him,
Yeah.
right? Like,
He wants to drink.
there you go. Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, I'll clean up the blood at least, so it's not that bad. I can
Yeah.
also always invisible him, and then it just looks like we're awkwardly hugging each other as we go.
It was probably
With a 2-foot gap between them.
it was about 3 o'clock by the time you arrived at Madame Denna's. Then by the time you left, you're looking maybe around 5ish, we'll say. So it is getting to a point where, I mean, it's Waterdeep. There's drunk people at all times. But yeah, you guys absolutely start to make your way down. And Rowan, did I tell you where Temple of Heronius was?
Well, that's where very first started campaign. That's where I had left to meet Liam on the road. So I was already had visited it
Mhm.
before.
But it-
Kara
You told us
doesn't
the
remember.
north. Yeah, you
The
told us the
northern
north.
ward.
Northward.
Northward?
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm
You
so
want me to
glad
say
I said
which
that.
street it's on?
Because technically there is no Temple of Heronius in Waterdeep. However, for this campaign, I'd hoped I had said the northward. It is in the
Yeah.
northward, guys. And you actually travel through a bunch of side paths, wind up passing through Troll Skull Alley, passing a bunch of shops and such. The northward you find quite nice. For the cool day it is, all the fog has burned off for the most part. There's clear sky at this point, though it's still cloudy high above. It is cool, but it is a very nice day for it being a late fall day. And you guys head down side passages. It is noticeably different from the field ward because everyone you pass kind of gives a little bit of a polite nod, little, common gestures of good day, nice to see you, sorry, passing on, very polite, until you come to a big stone temple. I don't know how to describe it other than slightly pretentious, but it is large, and just at the edge, just north of the City of the Dead. And it has large steeples. You climb the steps up to it. You push the doors open, and inside you step inside to a warm, welcoming environment. It is probably not what some of you are expecting. It's a temple, yet it's also has this sense of valor and war, almost like a history type of museum where you see weapons and things kind of placed, things to look at. You don't see pews or like seating along the main chapel area. What you do see along the backside is a huge mural of a godlike man with flowing blondish ginger hair, big ass sword in hand, looking like he is mid swing, flying through the air against like a demon creature, lightning blasting off from the sword. I mean, this stained glass mural is impressive. And you just hear a laughter and voices around the area as a person in silver blue robes comes up to you and actually walks right up to you, Rowan. Welcome, Rowan, cleric of Heronius and chosen of the Chalice. What brings you to the temple of the Great Archpaladin?
It's good to see you again.
You as well. We didn't expect to see you for a while, but our forge masters have been hard at work. We weren't expecting you for quite a while. What brought you back so early?
Well, much has happened since I was here, including me meeting some new people, and that's where I've come for some aid. One of ours is hurt, and we needed a place to get to quickly.
Well, all of you are, of course, welcome here. We don't necessarily have spare rooms, so to speak. I mean, we have some for the clergy, of course. But we can certainly make room, I'm sure, if that's necessary.
We've all slept on the floor. It's
Any reason you're here at this moment? Did you come for the item?
It's ready.
I mean, you've been working hard at it. Like I said, we weren't expecting you for a good while. Surprised to see you here.
I deeply apologize for showing up so unannounced.
You see him kind of squint his eyes, his head tilts a little bit. And his eyes kind of travel over the rest of the party. Unless any of you are trying to hide it, I imagine he sees a very Worn, emotionally spent, party just looking slightly, possibly, homicidal slash crazy. Yeah, just a smidge.
The only thing that like toned down Nathan and Nina's fury right now is the fact that they're carrying a man who can't walk by himself. That is like the only thing that warms us up at all.
Fair.
Thanks, guys.
Please forgive. But can I introduce you to my companions? And I'll just turn and
Mm-hmm.
this is Nathan, and Liam, and Nina, and Chara. And this is, and I'm gonna forget who his name is.
The Priest Farwick Avalak. At your service. Come. Do you all need a meal? Perhaps just a place to sit for a bit. Kind of gives a nod, answering his own question, and would lead you off to the side towards kind of a back area where he leads you through a room towards, it looks almost like a commissary, but there's multiple tables. Honestly, it looks like its own self-sustained tavern. And you see a table where he would lead you to, gesture you all to sit. And he would have some food and drinks brought out to all of you. So, what brings you to Waterdeep so early?
Well, we came here for research.
On?
I'm gonna shoot a look around at the group, gauge if anyone's like, don't you dare say a word to this dude or anything.
No, we're in your realm. I think most of us have ceded authority to you in a Temple of Erroneous. You get to use that judgment.
And you would see that Rowan's demeanor is almost reverted to childlike, like is a little more like kind of fidgety. Feels even she seems out of place here, even though it's her god that she's following and stuff. That because of everything that's happened and stuff with her having doubts and everything, she's not sure she should be in here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's been major darkness that's spreading that could potentially be world ending. To not try to make it sound overdone. But
No, I completely believe it. You I mean, you were chosen for a reason.
have you ever heard of something named the Chained One, Unraveler? There was a dune.
You see his face kind of react at that moment. Yes. The Unraveler, yes. Why?
He's trying to come back.
Yes, he's been attempting that for millennia.
He's getting a lot closer than he ever has. There's these cults that are grouping together when they shouldn't necessarily get along and seem to be trying to aid him in his return.
That's concerning. You... apologies. I don't know what it is that the path you're on. However, you're here for a reason. What is it? So I can help.
I'm going to look over at everyone and please make yourselves at home here. If you don't mind, I'm going to step away and have a conversation.
He would give a nod to the rest of the group and walk off to the other side of the room. And once on the opposite side, he would look at you and just kind of square off and fold his hands before him. You're troubled?
Deeply. My Deva, my Landra was murdered.
Yes, we heard. I'm sorry.
There was something that did bring me here. This isn't by accident. I wish to have some help from all the priests and priestesses here, if possible. There's an action I'd like to do that I can't do around the others, but I need to be watched.
Such a strange phrasing on that too.
He, you see him kind of nod a bit and then kind of get distracted for a moment. Of course, somewhere quieter then? All right. He would lead you off to a side room and kind of close the door behind both of you. Well, both of you. You and them. And would just... It's kind of like almost like a sleeping room. You see a cot off to the side. Not very big. No one else is in the area, though. And he just watches you for a moment.
And if he notices I'm kind of like fidgeting with like my left arm a little bit.
His eyes kind of drop to it a bit. Show me.
And I'll pull back the sleeve to show it.
He walks forward, grips your wrist tightly, and kind of holds his hand over the tattoo. And then lowers his hand against your arm.
I start to try to pull back.
You feel his grip on your wrist tighten. And he kind of wraps his hand around it. And you can make a strength check if you would like. He is surprisingly strong.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't. So.
Okay.
Strength check?
Yep.
Oof. 10.
He wrote the tattoo! Alright, so the both of you are kind of locked in place, like kind of pulling and between. And he just kind of, eventually, he lets go. And pushes his own sleeves up. And then, like, pushes his hair back. Well, I don't know what that is. But I don't like what I just saw. How are you feeling? Are you okay?
That's a loaded question. No, I'm not okay. Not fully. You saw how haggard my friends out there are.
Do they all have this?
No. No, just me.
How did this happen?
We've been discovering gems that seem to play into the Unravelers' plans, and I decided to touch it. And it embedded into me.
You see his eyes kind of roll and he just kind of kneads his forehead for a bit. Okay. Well, I'm sure you don't need to know at this point, but rule number 1, don't touch dark objects.
That's what the rule I want to break.
I see that.
Again.
You see him kind of step back for a moment.
And I'm going to reach into my sack and pull out the little sack that has the other gem in it. My new Deva Amruta said these are my burden. That I must carry them. Keep them safe. I use my will to control them as best I can. I'm gonna do it the only way I know how. You can't take that from me. And I'm gonna look down at the tattoo.
Well, I mean, it's worth a discussion on, possible meanings. Gods say a lot of things. People spend centuries trying to decipher the meaning. Perhaps you could relay to me exactly what she said.
Well, you know how they love to be a little bit cryptic with their
Yes.
responses.
Yes, I do. I'm concerned, Rowan. There's clearly dark magic attached to that, and I'm concerned that having a burden doesn't necessarily mean carrying the burden within. You can bear a burden. And still drop it off. What happened when you touched the first one?
I basically lost all my senses for overnight. 8-ish hours, maybe, something like that. I know it's a risk.
It is a risk. What do you hope to gain from this?
I feel stronger for the people around me.
You wish to draw on its power?
Yes, potentially.
And you see him take a few steps forward. And he grips your forearm once more. The only power you should draw on is that of Heronius. I'm concerned for the path you're taking. I'm not sure you can be trusted anymore, Rowan. I'm going to need you to hand over that rock.
I look down at the sack.
He holds a hand out.
Can you keep it safe?
I make no promises. But I will do everything in my power to keep anyone else from experiencing what you have.
I'm going to look them dead in the eyes. And I want to find insight.
Yeah?
Good Lord.
I know there's a lot.
I want to try an insight.
Yeah, go for it.
Basically, if I feel like what he says, he'll keep it from being with people if that's like, if it seems like he's doing this out of a good thing or he's got his own desires for having it.
You want to know if it's honorable
Yeah.
towards the faith or if he's got his own. Yep. Go for it.
14.
You get a sense that he wants what's best for you. And he is deeply concerned that a cleric of Heronius wants to draw power from the Unraveler. And he is very close to drastic measures. He looks calm, but there is like sweat beading at the top of his brow as he continues to hold his hand out, like imploring you.
What if they come looking here for it? The servants of the Unraveler.
I won't try and use it if that's what you're asking. And you know the servants of Heronius will fight to the bitter end.
I hesitate for what he probably feels is
Mm-hmm.
he's on the cusp of wanting to do whatever he wants to do.
Trust in the creed, Rowan.
And I will finally put it into his hand.
You put it in his hand, and you see a moment of just tenseness before he kind of takes a few steps back, and you see his shoulders relax slightly as he quickly tucks it away.
And I'm just going to collapse to my knees. And just start uncontrollably crying.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's been on her mind for a while now. And especially after what just happened at the fighting ring.
He just kind of stands there for a long moment, eyes closed, breathing, before he takes a few steps forward and just kind of rests a hand on your head. You don't have to share this burden alone. Just do me a favor, Rowan. Don't do it alone. And he walks back to the door. Opens it. And you see him kind of stick his head out for a moment. And you hear him mutter a few phrases. And he waits until you kind of expend the emotional outpour before he would accept something from outside and walk back in. And he would kneel down before you. And he's got something in his hands with like a kind of a draped cloth over it. I can't change what has already occurred. But I see now what the chalice has spoken of. Has come to fruition. You hold the fate of us all. And he draws back the cloth, and you see what looks like, how do I describe this? It's almost like a pauldron, a singular pauldron, but it has like gold trim around some silver, and like a glass dome almost. And inside of it, you see what looks like 3 thin pieces of copper. And he holds it out to you. And then he takes one of his hands and pushes your shoulders back so that you're kind of pushed sitting upright. Cleric of Heronius, with this task before you, the clergy support you. This is the gift of your God. Take this and use it. Draw upon this and not this. And he grasps your forearm tightly and kind of yanks it forward a bit. The one with the marking on it. Do you understand?
Yes.
This holds up your arm is an infection. And this is your salvation. And he sets the pauldron onto your shoulder and latches it, spending a few minutes fastening it into place. And as you feel it fasten on, you feel that hum that you always seem to have with your symbol and your talisman and your amulet. And you feel it extend. And you see those 3 prongs suddenly light, and little sparks of golden lightning shoot up and down within that little dome. And you now have a reliquary of 500 gold pieces.
I will stand up and quickly put my hand without the tattoo to it and focus on that hum that's felt like it's been fading a little. And all of a sudden kind of feel like the shadow that has dissipated a little that she didn't even realize was really there. And look at him and give a bow. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for causing you worry.
It's a welcome emotion. Life in Waterdeep can be pretty patterned. Unexpected. And I'm still a little scared, which is odd to say as a priest of Haronius. Don't spread it around, please. However, know that you have the full support of the clergy at your back, should you need it.
I was here for a reason. I'll give him a little smirk. I should get back to my friends. They're probably wondering what mischief I've gotten into, which we're not wrong.
The valorous knight, keep his eye upon you. Rowan. He would clasp his arm to yours. And would head out of the room.
I'll start walking back to the group.
All of you see Rowan coming over to the table with a nice new piece of armor on her shoulder.
Great, you're gonna need that.
Excuse me?
You're gonna need that.
Neat. Oh,
We have a crime boss to kill.
and I'm just gonna come over and sit down and grab a drink and the cheese away from. It's gonna be an ongoing thing now. How are you all doing?
I don't think any of us have a decent answer for you right now.
Where did you guys leave me?
You're sitting right next to us.
I want to be sure I wasn't put in a bed or anything.
No.
I'm just there, kind of slumped down. My hair is crusted with blood. Dry
Nope,
blood.
because I prestidigitated you on the walk over here so you didn't stand out.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. I'm just there slumped. Kind of mumbling to myself.
What are you mumbling?
I just keep saying, what happened, what happened, what happened, what happened, as I'm trying to reach for where Talon should be. My hand is right there, but it's not there. Also, one pupil's bigger than the other. Pretty sure that's a concussion thing. Just
More like a
Yeah,
brain
but
bleed
medically
thing,
you're
but
sound.
Yeah. If Nina can hear you asking what happened, I think she's going to like try to get you to focus a little bit, which is, she's doing it gently. She's not like snapping in your face or anything, but she goes, Liam, what do you remember?
just kind of like is looking at the table, hands the word hands the word spin, and essentially just anger, anger, wind, anger, rock, pain, black.
They jump you? While you were out, you left the tavern after we went to bed, and they jumped you?
He's just staring. He doesn't really, he doesn't know.
Well, we're not doing this fucking job. So we need to figure out a plan to get in there and rescue Terrence or whoever it is that she's claiming as our friend. And then we're gonna burn that place to the ground. Everything she's so proud of, we're gonna take it away from her. Because that's
Honestly,
what
I
she
think
can
we
do to
have
other
the
people.
opportunity to free everyone in there, not just Taryn.
Sure. But I'm just saying,
Which could help.
whoever's left in there will be corpses. Nina's saying this probably a little louder than she should in a temple of a god.
That's why Ro was like sitting there a little bit, like looking around, not saying anything.
What if she was telling the truth? And
About?
if we don't go forward with her plan, does that mean that there will be more human trafficking in this area as a result?
I feel
Is
like
that
If you'd like to deal with that afterwards, we can.
I feel like
But I
doing
believe
what
her
she
words
wants
were-
doesn't solve it. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe what she worded was they would use her base of operations for it. So if it's a pile of ash, doesn't matter. Plus, in reality, I did sign a contract to do a job. She just doesn't have to be alive for me to do it.
She's not like a devil or anything, right? She's not gonna like hold you to it or get your soul if you don't.
Devils don't get oil. Or maybe they do. I don't know.
I mean, It's a glamour either way, right? Glamour yourself young, glamour yourself old. Liam's gonna need a little bit longer. As much as he thinks he's all right, he's not. Nina,
Rowan,
keep
did you
nudging
happen to
your
ask
water
your
towards your
friend
room.
there about the nearest inn? Or if we're lucky, maybe they knew anything about the Manta Rose?
No, I did not. Mm-mm. Can ask him to return.
You easily
So-
find someone else that will stop by. You can stop someone.
So what was the conversation about that?
About all the doubts that I've been having lately. Everything that's been going on.
Well,
What
I
exactly?
truly hope it helped. You need to find some light in your days. So hopefully he helped.
Well, I don't know how much you care to have something else thrown at you now. You know how I like to do sometimes on my own. Let's just say I was about to have a second one of these, but I'll look down at the tattoo. But he stopped me. And he technically has the other gem now.
I'm sorry, and you have trust issues with me.
Yeah. I kind of do.
You gave him the gem? Didn't your guide literally tell you that the deceiver is among you?
I had to give it to him because if I didn't, this temple may have just come down on us. We
Oh,
can
so
take it
you
back.
were literally robbed.
No.
That's even
Yeah, they
more
threatened your
suspicious.
life to get something from you. That's called robbing you.
It was more to keep me from making a stupid mistake.
So I guess the devil horns aren't enough of a reminder for all of us then, huh? I think Nina's gonna get up and walk away for a little bit.
We gotta find an inn for Liam.
I'll go find out, and I'll get up and walk away. Find someone who can point us to the closest inn.
Yeah, one of the clergy would point you, give you directions, just to a nearby inn, not too far down. And you guys head there. Awkward silence among the group. And purchase. You could yeah, oh, yeah. There's 4 rooms available, weirdly, for this time of year. Is that something you want to You want to purchase 4 rooms for the night, or would you prefer to
4 works.
4? Okay. So it's not very expensive. It's only going to be a gold per room per night. Northward, and it's winter. They know there's demand.
Fine, Nina spent 50 gold on 1 room for all 5 of us the night before.
You placed a bet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted that bed.
Yep.
Nathan will just put up the 5 gold and ask for food to be sent to the rooms.
Okay. So 1 gold for food and everything. All right. So you guys get 4 rooms. You can split up whoever's staying where.
I think
and-
Nina would insist on staying with Liam
Mhm.
just to take care of him. So
And then Chara, Rowan, and
Nathan will just take one of the other rooms.
yeah, you 3 can have your own rooms if you like. Just so I can somewhat have an idea on, but this is probably a good place to end it. However, just so I have an idea on what you guys are thinking of for next session.
well, I imagine Liam wants his things back. And Nathan wants to kill Denna.
Mm-hmm.
Nina wants to burn that place to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're going back to Denna's at some point. But I don't know what the rest of the group's feeling. Rowan, Chara?
DM, my plan is just what we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you talk about? Just kidding.
That's between me and the DM. It's not for the group yet.
I wonder. Well, I feel like in the morning or something, there's gotta be a freaking talk.
Yeah, I think as a group there needs to be a moment. We have to come together
I
and
think we've
have a
literally hit that point now, especially leaving the temple, not talking during the walk. We in the morning, it's like we wake up a little, maybe feeling a little bit better, but I know Rowan would probably, especially look at Nina, because we did have a little bit of a connection back at the Yawning Portal where we were like, we need to do something. So
Okay. I mean, how are you all feeling? Do you feel like you could go a little bit longer to discuss it, or would you? Because I feel like I have an idea of what you want to do. Or if all of you are okay, we can absolutely continue forward. I just don't want to drag it out because I know it's been a night.
I'm fine to keep going, but that's just me.
I started the night having an energy drink, so I am still very tired.
And it's
Night
only 9
coffee.
p.m. here, so
Okay.
So I'm just gonna
Night coffee. I'm so ready.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go throw stuff out and then I'll be right back. So
Awesome.
bear with me.
Okay. So then the group of you.
We do need to make sure Liam's going to be conscious enough to have this conversation, though, because Liam is a part of this conversation as well.
I would say it's probably we're looking at the next morning.
Okay, we're going to have the long
Yeah.
rest. Okay, got it.
Can we
So-
fill my water really fast?
Yeah. If you guys want to take like a quick couple minute break,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
I need water so bad. It's like, oh my gosh.
I've been dehydrated all day despite the massive amounts of rain we're getting. I just can't get enough water.
Nope.
I've been really anxious this weekend, and so I've been taking my anti-anxiety meds, and it makes me so dehydrated when I do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
I'm sorry you're dealing with some anxiety this weekend. That's no fun.
Yeah, it's okay. I wasn't gonna let it kick me out of D&D though. I was talking to my roommate, and he was like, you know, if you need to not do D&D, like, don't feel bad, because like,
Yeah.
it's a thing. And I was like, no, we're gonna push through.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still have to talk about like the fact that Chara doesn't know her name. Like that's one of the things that like I wrote down. I was like, we need to have this conversation.
Listen, I was just thinking, I was like, well, Chara just knows what she was called, or what she calls herself now, but, and as we determined before, it's short for character, so.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Is that how you chose her name?
Yes, that's how I chose it, was short for character.
Have you said that before? I never knew that.
I feel like we may have talked about it when we realized that Chara's name also goes with charisma.
I don't
think it came
remember.
up as like it might have been like during one of our breaks before you came back or something. But I remember this conversation. Yeah.
I'm so not a good.
That's totally how I chose it. It was short for character.
That's hilarious. What a great little sidebar.
Just random facts, random fun facts.
I love it. I love it so much.
And see, I love having memory problems because it just works. It just works. It's like, you know what?
We are a group entirely made up of people with memory problems. I guess Rowan has all of her memories, but she also doesn't know who she is. Like, she's got a whole couple, like, who was she prior to being dropped off at a farming or fishing village?
I have my theories. I have my suspicions. As
Me
a
too.
player, not Chara, but
Man, I was so ready to go into combat right then and there.
Didn't
It
like
stressed
that
me
old bag,
out.
did ya?
Your love for your fictional sibling is noted. Apologize, since it's 12:15, I decided to switch into my PJs as we play.
Do it up, make yourself comfy.
Also gonna get a haircut relatively soon.
why this whole time I thought I could have sworn you had like a bandana in your hair, not like a beanie.
No.
Just like a fun fact. I was like, oh, what a cute little bandana. And then I was like, oh no, it's a beanie.
Beanie or a headband, typically. I don't have a bandana. Nothing wrong with bandanas, I do not have them.
Your headband's a thicker one though, right? Like you wear that more in the summer, right? I feel like we've seen that on. Am I imagining?
The thinner one.
Oh.
It's just this.
I think that's what I'm thinking of, yeah.
It's wider. Just my hair's unruly. Well, the humidity in my curly ass hair,
I feel ya.
not a good mix right now.
And it has been super humid on the East Coast too. Like it's just been nasty.
Yeah.
It's been humid, but it's been really cold still here in the Midwest.
It was almost 80 degrees where I'm at.
What?
Yeah, it was like 64 by me.
It was like high 70s.
That's nuts.
Yeah, we're still in
little
the
bit.
30s.
Nope. I was talking to my girlfriend about it today. We were both like, we hate it.
This is like warm for the way it's compared to what it's been the last 2 weeks.
I realized today though that I'm pretty sure I live in Southern Appalachia. This is
In your new place?
yeah. Although I think I mentioned it last time before that. I'm most likely moving back to Jersey in the summer.
Okay.
My postdoc is probably gonna be around there, so I'm
Mhm.
just gonna probably live home for a few weeks, a month or two, while I get a job sorted, and then move out to my own place during the off season.
Nice.
That's the plan. So, old setting back, and then whole new place. But back to the thing. Yeah, no, it's been stupid warm. And then like a week ago, we had like 4 inches of snow twice in 1 week. Makes no sense.
All right. So you all get a long rest. The next morning is still cool, very similar to the previous morning, where the fog has rolled in early, and you guys come downstairs. There is a chill to the air, but as you start to come down, you feel the heat from a fireplace and come down one by one, eventually sitting at a table close to the fire, and some drinks are brought. Morning juice and some cheese and bread, butter, eggs,
Breakfast fare.
breakfast fare.
Liam's gonna come. Liam comes down the stairs, and he's more stable. Still a little wobbly, but he's coming down. He's more conscious, able to talk. But he also has a very like serious like look on his face, and he just grabs a bottle of wine off someone's table and like swigs it.
You guys start to take part in the food and the drink quite silently. You guys are just reeling from a lot of emotion of things that occurred the day before. Not entirely sure what happened still. As you all just kind of sit staring, kind of chewing on food.
Nathan is uncharacteristically not eating. Kind of looks like he's just waiting.
Mm-hmm. So, we gotta get Liam's stuff back. Assuming Nina knows, we all know Liam's dagger, and Nina taking care of him last night would have like realized that it was missing. Whatever she thought was hers when she took him, she kept it. So, that's in there.
Hold on, DM. Would Liam know why his dagger's missing? Because of that whole thing with Azari saying that, he's going to be on his own for a while.
So you recall her saying Talon chose you. She did not. But when you woke up, everything was a blurry of movement. You don't recall what happened to your dagger.
Okay.
So we're gonna need to find a magic shop that has a locate object scroll to be most efficient at this. Liam, you already found some scrolls, so I'm assuming you can take us back to that place. We're already in the North Ward.
Liam takes another swig of the bottle. Just
Nina
looks.
takes it out of his hand, sets it off to the side, and gives him water.
Liam just looks at everyone, and he just sort of grumbles, "Don't we have a job?"
Not right now. You were our job. What's left is retribution.
So Liam is going to... Yeah, I'll lead you guys. He just stares you down like, okay, fine, let's go.
Oh, no. That's just the first part once we leave. Nina's gonna turn to Rowan. You were really gonna touch another fucking shard?
Yeah, I was. Because I felt like if it was in me, then it's less chance of it being taken. Less chance of someone else getting hurt by it. And potentially a chance for me to use it for something good.
And if any of us had tried to do the same, what would you have said?
You know I would have said no.
So why did you think you would be allowed to do it?
Because I've already have one.
And I already have horns. But would you want me to eat another slug?
It's because I care more about your well-being than my own.
I see where you think you're going with this. But if you put yourself in danger, you're putting all of us in danger. You're the one who keeps us up, Rowan.
I don't think that's true. I look over at Nathan.
I have a question for you, Rowan, then. What happened the last time you consumed a stone?
You know what happened.
Okay. So what happens this time if that doesn't come back? You don't come back from that. What if it becomes permanent? How are you going to protect us then?
It was a chance I was willing to take.
You were willing to take a chance at incapacitating yourself from doing anything at all to try to help us what?
Wasn't necessarily to help you in the moment.
Okay, to protect then is I guess what you're saying, because you care about everybody here more than yourself.
And not just you, just keeping it out of the hands of anyone else.
And then you go and hand it off to somebody.
Like I said,
I'm sorry, but your logic is just not making sense here.
it
You're
doesn't have,
saying one thing and doing the other.
I get it. It doesn't have to make sense because it wasn't a sensible thing. I admit that.
Do you trust him? The priest at the temple, the one you gave the stone to.
I didn't just hand it over as soon as he asked for it. I looked him directly in the eyes. And I felt in that moment that I could trust him with it. And that may have been the biggest mistake I've made. But you know what? I figured if that's the case, we'll just steal the damn thing back.
That's if
But
it's not
also-
used first.
What was that?
That's if it's not used first.
Fair.
I don't know clerics, priests, or even religion that much, so I tend to rely on my gut for trusting people. So if you say that you can trust him, I'm going to give you the benefit that you clearly deny us so frequently and say that I believe you and I trust that you made the right choice. But moving forward, you have to start trusting us to do the same, or we need to start talking about it. For example, when we were down in that fucking tunnel saving those other people, Nathan told us not to go after him. You went after him. Multiple instances of you not trusting us to do what we need to do. So, I trust you to do what you need to do to keep the shard safe, to keep us safe. But you also have to trust us to keep us safe too. So you're not always worrying about that. Because you are important, Rowan. Whether you want to believe it or not, this is all centered around you.
Why the hell would you even trust me? I don't even trust myself.
Because I'm a firm believer in actions, and yours speak louder than any words you have neglected to say.
Ever heard of friendship? You trust your friends to do the fucking right thing. And if they don't, you back them up. That's how shit works.
Exactly.
It may be hard to believe, but actually I don't know what friendship is.
Clearly.
Are you so stubborn that you won't admit that we're your friends?
I'm not saying now. I'm saying that the idea of friendship that I should have already known, I didn't. I've always done things alone. And not necessarily by choice.
I think Nina looks sidelong at Liam and goes, I think that's a running theme.
But it's entirely untrue, and it drives me insane every time you say that. Did you swim to shore on your own as a tyke? I don't think so. Did you learn to fish and grow up all alone? No, I don't think so. Anything else you think you've done alone?
I had my parents, sure.
Then you weren't alone. Your parents are still here to back you up as a shoulder to even talk to. You still have people that care and can do things when you're not alone. Yet you choose to be alone. That is on you.
Nina kicks Liam under the table to make sure he's listening.
Liam, what would I do? Liam just says, ow. As he was taking a sip of water, now it's spilled over him a bit.
Because yes, you don't talk to us because you feel that you need to protect us from whatever you deem is a threat. Believe it or not, I kind of get that a little bit. Very minutely. But the point is that you are choosing in that moment to remove us from the equation.
Yeah, I was.
And we are still choosing to stand beside you. At least acknowledge that.
Thing is I don't know any of you. Let's really get down to it. How long have we known
Perfect.
each other now?
I'll let other people answer. I don't have a long distance time here.
It's been like a month since Nina joined, I think.
I was like trying to think of when how long it's been since Nina joined.
It's been
Probably.
like what I think we got the answer for Chara. It's been like 3 weeks or
Yeah.
something like that.
Jesus.
We've traveled longer than that.
I was gonna say it's actually probably a little bit longer now. I think it was like a month and 3 weeks when we had that conversation, so it's probably like 2 months and 5 weeks. But
2 months and 5 weeks. Do you mean 3 months and 1 week?
no. 2 months for Nina being part of the group, 5 weeks for Chara.
Okay.
being part of the group.
Yeah,
You weren't adding it together.
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
are individual numbers. Got it. I
Sorry.
was like,
Sorry.
that's about
makes
right.
sense.
Yeah.
And I have more than once opened up to say, ask me whatever the hell you want. And you've chosen to not believe me every time.
Alright.
And you may not know me, but I know you.
So what the hell is your damn name? And
You've been
refuse
saying
to
it this
write
whole
it-
goddamn time. It's Nathan.
You refuse to sign that book.
I read really slowly. I didn't want to bother slowing you guys down. It's not my strong suit. I didn't exactly have books in my cage.
okay, insight check.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Go for it.
It's not that I don't believe you. I'm just curious.
Oh no, I don't believe.
Okay, that's a 16.
Yeah, I'm not lying.
After watching how slowly he signed his name on that contract, because I was sitting right next to him, Nina believes him outright. So
I only was able to read half the card before I handed it off to you.
yeah.
Now that makes a lot more sense. Got it. Okay. I was wondering why you did that and why you've been so upset that people have been assuming that everybody can read, and now I realize. Because you can't read, okay?
We
Yeah,
haven't
and it's
talked.
just not
It's just
very
slow.
well.
Yeah.
Liam is just scowling through his like. His hair's in front of his face, and he's just scowling through like his hair.
You doing okay, bud? I mean, I know they're rough in there, but
Liam grabs his remaining dagger and just starts playing with it in his hand. He's like, I'm fine. Go on.
Stop lying. You're not fine.
freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. Like that kind of fine.
I'll live.
No. I mean, true, but be honest.
Yeah, I'll get back to him. Nonetheless, ask away. I have never lied to you once. Any of you, actually. Oh, no, that's a lie. Once. I have lied to you all once.
What was the lie?
You asked me if I was okay, and I said I was fine. Kind of like that, actually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If we're really gonna sit here and do this, and we keep getting the roundabout of, do I believe what you say or not? Why did I do another Zone of Truth? And I'll even fail it myself.
Go nuts.
Were we rolling against that?
So what is that? That's the spell thing that does the truth thingy, right?
Yeah. But I'm saying that I will do it. So that
I've had her. Doesn't matter to me. I'm an open book. I don't care.
So Nathan fails voluntarily. Rowan fails
Nina will fail.
voluntarily. Nina fails voluntarily. Liam, what'd you roll?
I rolled a 9.
Okay, you fail. Chara.
It's a charisma saving throw, I think, if you want to make it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna roll it.
Okay.
But I mean, at the end of the day, currently,
It was-
I
it
do
was
feel
a-
like murdering somebody specific. So I feel bad, but not really.
It was a crit fail for a total of 10. So,
we all failed.
Okay.
Whether or not we like it. So I think you can read the spell, but I'm pretty sure Zone of Truth. It's not that you can't lie. Like if you sense that you have to tell the truth, you can choose not to answer it.
Yes.
Correct.
If you don't want to give
Yeah.
anything away.
Yes.
You can't speak a deliberate lie.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not
Oh.
like you're compelled to tell the truth. You
Yeah.
just
Right.
can't speak a deliberate lie.
Yeah, you can choose not to answer, or even answer where it's kind of cryptic, not in a lie form, but it's just a aid in outright deception.
What's the range on that?
It's
How many people in this bar are
Mhm.
telling the truth to each other?
it's a 15-foot radius, and I'll just center it on me, or like
Is it
wow,
a
it's over our table.
cylindrical radius? So, like, will it reach the second floor and third floor of this building?
It's a 15-foot radius sphere that I
Some poor couple having morning sex. Does it feel good? No, not at all. Wait, why did I say that out loud?
So yeah, I'll center it literally in the middle of our table, 15-foot sphere,
Okay.
radius sphere.
Duly noted.
So who wants to ask the first question? I can go first.
You gonna eat that?
No.
Just pulls the plate near him.
Pocket bacon.
So it's true you don't have your memories from before you fell then.
which
Specifically me?
which ones of
Nathan.
us are you talking
Yeah.
to?
Then Nathan.
Oh yeah, none.
Do you want to get them back?
Yeah.
I actually don't really care that much.
Okay.
I've been without them for so long that it doesn't really matter. And after being held captive for so long, I just wanted to make my life mean something afterward.
Fair enough. Who's next? We could turn it into a game. Whoever asks the question has to answer the next one. But I feel like I'm an open book at this point.
Go nuts, Rowan. You got plenty of questions, right?
I'll circle back to the one that I asked before. Why did you refuse to sign the book?
I didn't want to go into the library. I'm ashamed that I can't read very well and I didn't like it. I would have signed the book, but I felt like I would have been slowing you guys down. Plus, reality, I don't really know what we're doing. Nobody's really filled me in on the situation. Like, who are we chasing? What are we looking for and why? How is it going to help? I don't know anything. I've just been following.
Haven't we all just been following each other?
Yep, pretty much.
Probably.
I won't waste the time that your spell probably takes, but I promise that we'll fill you in afterward.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask at some point after I got rid of my murder rage.
Yep.
Well,
By the way, Liam, I'm sorry.
For what?
My past and my history is what I was afraid would get one of us hurt. And it hurt you. Sorry.
Liam's just
I
quiet.
didn't want that to happen.
Liam's quiet. There's something else on his mind.
I have a question for Liam. How long ago was Millstone?
It is an excellent question. I say out of character as I'm trying to buy myself time to look at my own paperwork.
And a question for the DM. How long ago do I think Millstone was?
That's an interesting question. DM, how long does Liam think?
Because I don't think that they are the same, but I want to confirm that.
How old do you think you are, Liam?
Liam thinks he's 25,
Okay.
and
Nina
Millstone
thinks he's
happened when
80.
and Liam thinks that Millstone happened when he was 13.
Mm-hmm. So that's how long ago you think Millstone happened. Same for you, Nina.
So, memory's a fucky thing. Liam just get. Sorry. Liam just looks 12 years. 12 long years.
Okay, so here's another question for DM that won't take up spell time, but Nina is trying to do math in her head. So when I got my memories back from the Pact Breaker, I knew that I had been like gifted the mirror and kind of thrown in this alternate reality. But do I have some semblance now that I have both lives of what that time span was, or no? That is a blank for me. So I should assume it was the 12 years.
For you, it's both.
Okay.
It's really hard to determine between the
Yep.
two of them. Yes, you have decided that this is the reality,
Mm-hmm.
so you can guesstimate. However, you've got two sets of memory in the head.
Cool. Nina just says, it's been a lot longer for me, Liam.
Liam now points like his eyes at you and it's like, how long?
70 years? I have 70 years worth of memories that you're telling me aren't real. By telling me that what happened to our family was 12 years ago.
how many siblings do you have? I say to Liam and Nina.
Alive? 1. But there were 5 of us.
Liam gets visibly agitated. 4.
They're dead, Liam.
We don't know that.
We do.
No.
Nathan, tell him what was in your room. I saw all of your rooms. Tell him what was in it. He needs to know.
Was the pictures with the names, whether they were alive or dead? I had to sort them.
And there were 2 that went on the alive wall, right?
Yes, I believe him.
Zelfina and Fack.
Fack wasn't a sibling.
No, he's not, but he was still one of your.
Out of character.
I know. I
Okay.
know. And this is out of character. It was still. He's not a sibling, but that's what I'm telling you. The other pictures of our siblings out of characters were dead.
I remember that. I do remember that.
Nina is trying to make Liam understand that.
And Liam back in character. There weren't bodies. You weren't there. You didn't see it. They weren't there. Mom and dad, granddad, all there, all dead. They weren't.
Damn, do I have a counter memory to this from the Pact Breaker stuff? I know I remember seeing our neighbor's body, Grandpa's body, and just a mass of other things.
You don't recall seeing any other specific,
Okay.
like the siblings or even your mom or father. You remember grandfather, and you remember the
I
homestead.
got alias. I remember
Yeah.
like the actual alias. Yeah.
And the homestead being completely decimated. The entire village decimated.
You're right. I didn't see any bodies, but I did see the deceiver, and I know that he's the one who trapped the hag in that mirror and gave it to me. So this person, this demon that we're hunting, she knows who he is. She knows what he's after. In my memory, the one that you guys all unlocked for me, he said to her, "You'll be released when the time is right." And she'll pull out the mirror and set it on the table. I have kept this because we need to make sure that does not happen. But there's also the chance that she could give us answers. But before I go and do that without your blessing, I just wanted you all to know it's an option. But continue, and Nina will sit back. Mirror's still on the table.
Well, while we're here, speaking of the deceiver, I was told by Amruta that the deceiver was among us. It's been driving me nuts, so I guess now's a better time than any. Or one of you the deceiver.
Oh,
Nope.
Don't be ridiculous.
That's cryptic and vague, Liam. It's a yes or no answer.
Sorry, do I have to say no? I can't just say that's ridiculous.
You can say that. You can say that, but that is skirting around like the rules of it. And so Nina's just saying, like, to be absolutely certain, say yes or no.
Liam,
Just calling you out.
no.
As far as I know, no for myself.
You hear an individual from a table just next to you just kind of go, me either.
How did you meet Durgan?
At a pond. Literally. Just me walking outside of Red Larch, having a moment of meditation at a pond, and he was fishing there.
A persona that you have come to trust based on your childhood. One you would be comforted by.
No,
yeah, I immediately didn't like that guy.
just met in that moment. He didn't look familiar to me.
I'm not saying he would, but he showed himself to you in a manner in which you would not be immediately suspicious of.
I understand what you're saying now. Fair.
He gave you a sword, right?
He did. I did ask Amruta, my new Deva, if he was a deceiver. And he couldn't confirm or deny.
Chara, do you really not know your name?
No. I know that my name is Chara as far as I know.
In the room that Rowan was in. The one with the 3 women? You've attempted to cross paths with the deceiver again, or they were just...
Correct
that
me if I'm wrong with the
makes sense to me.
So I was told that I've crossed paths with the deceiver based on like my, I don't know, I would call it the character defining moment for Chara. But like really I don't know who in that scenario was the deceiver.
Okay.
Which was the hard part. So like the question is like, is it the deceiver? Was the deceiver the woman? Was the deceiver the male? Was the deceiver?
I think the language we got from them, was something along the lines of that he was the reason they were all dead. Like he betrayed us all or something like that. So
That's right, yeah.
Okay. Did you find what you were looking for in the library?
No.
Me either.
What's your goal with Yala?
That's a great question. It's a great question and an easy answer. The goal with Yala is the same that you have with Heronius. You have this network of individuals that will rally together, that come together as one against a common enemy.
Do you miss home? That you feel a call to?
Can't miss what you don't remember.
Nathan kind of like raises a glass of that. It's like,
So you don't want your memories back either?
I wouldn't say that. If my memories come back, if I am able to access some part of like who I was, who I am, like, I'll take it. I drink from it like a man in the desert at an oasis. But for now, I have what I have, and that's why Yala at this point, I've seen the power of what belief can do, and I want to keep that going.
Liam calmly puts the dagger he's had in his hand on the table, very calmly, and asks, who has Talon?
I don't.
was that the name of your dagger, or? Because I don't know who the hell that is.
My other dagger, the one with the gem on it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Just looks around.
We assume it's at the fighting ring. I assume it's at the fighting ring. And before you go running off, remember the conversation we just had about doing things on your own and you're not actually alone and all this, okay? Please? Lily?
Just shoots a look at you. Sits back in the chair. Goes back to just staring.
So let's be real. Waterdeep has been a pretty shitty experience thus far. But we do have some stuff before we need to start heading back. So are there any other questions?
Probably not my worst experience.
Yeah.
So we gotta get a scroll to find Liam's dagger.
We should probably find some way to sneak in. Cause a little bit more chaos. And then let the actual chaos ensue.
Pretty much. We also have to ask her where the kid is.
Do we want to find the Manta Rose?
Probably a good idea.
We want allies from the wild cards, we think.
If they're
definitely
thieves, it would
interested.
help.
And what they're looking for. I also have questions, like, not questions, but I'm curious about, even if we don't go to the secret thieves, I think it was, or whatever
Yeah, the
what they have.
Consortium of Shadow Thieves.
Thank you, Consortium of Shadow Thieves. My thing with that, like, I'm curious, right? Like why they're doing what they're doing, what they're looking for. If it's such a big deal for this individual and they think that it'll give them enough weight per se, like, I think that that's a lead worth pursuing.
I'm not gonna. Well, I can't lie. I didn't really understand half that.
Like, understand what I said, or
Yeah.
okay, so what's her face? Because I can't remember any of these fucking names. What's her face was talking about the Consortium of Shadow Thieves having
Right.
a essentially raffle style list of considering businesses, cities, entities for essentially partnership for their operations.
Oh, is that what she said? Okay.
I'm
I'm sorry.
pretty
I was a
sure
little
that's what she
blind
said.
ragey.
Totally fair. Looking for a base for their operations, and she believes that if she is at the top of the list and gets selected, that will give her enough weight in the eyes of the other people, the Xanathar, right? The Xanathar individual, to get them to back off pursuing and like keep revenue coming in and adding a layer of protection if she was to utilize her location as their next like hub, right? Like that was what she was talking about. I think that's something that we should go look into. I'm curious why they're doing that, but more specifically, whether any of you like it or not, we have taken responsibility for a town not too far north from here, that we've offered to help with what we can. Why not put, if we're going to use our powers to put, if what's her face thinks that our group can put her name at the top of the list there, that we as a group have that ability, what's to stop us from going and putting Westbridge's name at the top of that list?
Oh, we don't want it.
Why?
They would use Westbridge as a home base for all of their human trafficking and everything else.
They're not doing human trafficking though.
But we
Oh,
don't
they
know
are.
that. We don't know that.
100%.
Xanathar's is for sure. The Shadow Thieves could be into all sorts of things. But we just got Westbridge out from under the thumb of the Zentrim.
See, I only had 2 thoughts really last night, and one of them I don't need to talk about. The other one was essentially if we do go into the fighting ring and free some of the people that are there, if they've survived long enough, they might be decent enough warriors or whatever. We could technically send them back to Westbridge as guards and pay them. Considering they're currently not, unless they have homes to go to, obviously they can think type of thing, but nonetheless. The other part of that is I feel like our paper trail is a group that probably wants to keep both of those larger groups out of Waterdeep.
I
That would
agree.
impose on their territory. So I have a feeling that they're gonna kind of want the same thing we do.
Nathan, I have a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
Do you really think that we're going to be able to infiltrate? And I'm so sorry, I cannot remember Daniela or whatever the
Dana.
name is.
Old bitch, it works.
Yeah.
We're gonna be able to go infiltrate that old bitch's place after we just left. That she's not going to anticipate your exact move that you're thinking about making right now.
Oh, absolutely she's going to. That's why I was going to allow you guys to come up with the plan. It's my plan is just walk in the front door and walk through. And it's not a good plan. And I'm aware it's not a good plan. It's just, it's my angry plan and it works in my head. So somebody else is going to have to be smarter than I am currently right now. Which is
Liam.
not that hard.
Liam, do any of those names mean anything to you? The Manta Rose, the Consortium of Shadow Thieves, the Wild Cards, Xanathars.
The Shadow Thieves don't do slavery or human trafficking. They do a lot of things, but that's not their game.
Did you say they or we?
They. So
They.
the Shadow Thieves don't do human trafficking.
Okay. I was incorrect on that part then.
They've done a lot. They do a lot of other stuff. They're thieves, assassins, blackmailers, arsonists, info dealers. Not someone you want to get on the wrong side of, but they have rules.
She said as much. She said they were cutthroat, but they honored their bargains, I believe.
Sounds a whole lot like a group of people I know.
Well, it's not us, because we're talking about going back on that deal.
Oh, I'm happy to go out to wherever we need to go to and tell them to make a deal. It's just they'll be making one with a corpse.
Liam, I just want to ask, how long until we make any moves?
Are you going to contribute an idea to how to infiltrate this place?
I want to get ready.
How are you going to get ready?
There are a few things I need to get.
So let us know what you need to get. Maybe
We'll go with
we'll
you.
walk in together.
I think that
You know, so the whole rock in the head thing doesn't happen again.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't think that anyone really wanted to go see me try on new pants and shirts. As I point out that mine are covered, are torn up, have some blood on them, and still have burn marks from when
Well,
Kendra
there's
burned
no
me.
blood. I can fix the clothing problem if you really want. Unless if you don't want to buy new clothing, I can deal with that.
He's got a little friend.
DM question. Just like out of curiosity, call me paranoid at this point. Is there anybody in this bar who's like listening to our conversation?
Just the dude at the table behind us.
I mean,
Like, part of me imagines the whole room has gone silent except for
Yeah.
this conversation. I'm like,
there's
no,
there's the comfortable, clinking of glasses. It is morning time. So, it's not going to be rowdy in here by any means. Just small conversation and things like that. But yeah, you seem to have caught quite a bit of attention. As you specifically, Chara, kind of start to kind of glance around, you see one couple that is just full on engaged in your table's
They're the
conversation.
couple that go out to eat and then
Yes.
spend the entire time listening to the tea
Yeah.
being spilled at the next table.
Yeah, they are so happy they did not go to Denny's today. They are like so thrilled at being in this inn right now. They are just fully engaged in your conversation. Other than that, roll me a perception check.
How far away is the couple?
I was gonna say I might challenge that with an insight too, just to know like the intentions. Are they really just listening for gossip, or is this like informant gathering?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just curious if they're within the circle of truth.
son of a bitch, I rolled a 1 for an 11. For
That's
an
like
11 on
three
my
nat ones for
Wow.
you this session.
Yeah, you don't notice anything, Char, other than that old couple, which is about. They're probably just outside the bubble.
Damn it.
Nina, did you want to roll insight?
Yeah. Not a damn thing. I got a 2.
Okay.
So, the reason why I even right, the reason why I'm going in that direction is we still don't know. I'm gonna say it again. I've said it 3 times this session. I've counted. We don't know who they are, and we don't know what they're watching for. Okay, I think the best ally on our side right now is time. We can't go rushing in. There needs to be preparation. We need to get the fuck out of this city full of eyes and ears. We can't stay here. We're not safe here. And Chara believes that to be fully the truth.
So you don't want to find the Manta Rose.
I'm fine finding the Manta Rose because it's in the field ward. It's not something that's here. And if it
Okay.
is here, then no, I'd rather not find it. We have like carrying out the personal vendetta with the old bitch down the road that held Nathan hostage for years. Support. Like, I think we should do something with that. But I don't
you.
think that we can. I don't think we can reasonably spend more time here until we figure out why we're being watched and what we're being watched for. Flick did give us a warning, right?
Mhm.
Assuming that was Flick not under duress, we were given a warning. And we said, you know what, we're going to go anyway.
And then we wrote our names down in a book that literally tracks us.
Correct.
Not everyone. Out of character.
Theoretically, only inside that building, but
You think that's how Scry works?
I did say theoretically. It was a different type of book.
But they've seen our faces. They know our names. Okay.
I've got a bit of a question. Actually, if the I don't want to sound racist, but the bird that you guys
The
met in the
Kenku.
library, is that what that's
That
called?
sound racist.
Yep.
There's a really funny
I didn't
meme.
know what it was. I'm sorry. I've never heard of a Kenku before.
He can only talk in things he's heard before. He's it's a mimicry. That's
Oh.
his form of communicating.
Kind of neat. You have any way of asking them questions? Because didn't they help Youth too?
I did give him the figurine of wondrous power, but I should have sent it after we left the library because there's a good chance he did not realize it's in his pocket. So
And that'll do what exactly?
he can use it to do animal messenger, so we can send messages back and forth through it. It's the
Oh.
raven. It turns into the raven that I use to talk with the lich. We do have one person who can go back to the library and ask. Liam
Well, that'll
likes
go well.
solo missions.
Not that much, apparently.
I'm silent because I got something else I want to do.
Oh my gosh, Liam, I'm so curious. What do you want to do next?
I literally said I want to go buy clothes. Okay.
Oh no! I think you're misunderstanding. Like you can totally go buy clothes. We're
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah.
like
I don't mind going to like do something else after.
Yeah.
But, like,
okay. Chara doesn't want to stay in the city, so we should.
Really take this with us out of it. We can't take this back to Westbridge or Red Larch.
You mean we
Wait,
need to
where are
figure
we
out who
again?
they is?
Yeah.
What's the city that we're in again?
Waterdeep.
Thank you, I knew that. I definitely didn't think we were in Red Larch this whole time. So Waterdeep. Yeah.
We, like you said, we had that warning from Flick, and we blatantly said we'll disregard it, and we now have to live with those consequences.
I am going to be really honest and let you all know that I purposely disregarded that because we don't do well when we go in to the lair of the beast, but every time the beast has come to find us, we come out on top. But every time someone's gone down, it's when we've tried to go in to one of the temples. So this was me trying to draw them out. Whoever killed Flick, I want them to find us.
That's a hell of a plan. And you know, one that you could have told us a little bit sooner than
I thought it was just obvious.
Well, there's, I guess, our other problem of just the amount of assumptions we make.
Yep. Guilty.
All right, let's start off with a morning plan, shall we? Liam wants clothes. Let's deal with that. We need a scroll for the location stuff. Let's do that afterwards. I think finding information on the Manta Rose probably a third priority.
I want to make it clear, you guys don't need to hold my hand to go get clothes. I'll be fine.
No,
Stop.
no, no. You go nowhere alone anymore. And I mean nowhere.
What are you gonna do? Tie me up? And then I'm gonna
Probably.
I'm gonna snap my fingers and say Hazari, to try to like make multiples of myself to like confuse everyone.
Nina slaps you upside the back of your head.
Dan, how does that work out?
Nina smacks you upside the back of your head.
Did the magic happen?
Absolutely not. Nothing happened except you snapped your fingers.
And snap them again. And again. Anything?
Nothing.
Just gonna look at my fingers and
Did you just learn to snap finally?
I think he's having performance anxiety. It happens to the best of us, but it's all right.
Why don't you talk to us?
I'm just gonna. Okay. Okay. You win. I guess I need my mom.
Oh,
Nope, that's not what I
Oh.
am either.
Is the zone still up or is it down?
We'll say it's getting to the last probably minute of it.
I'll look at Liam and. Do you even want to reconnect with Nina?
I'm going to look you in the eyes first. Then I'm going to turn over to Nina. Look her in the eyes. And just say desperately. And that's. He's just going to get up and walk away. Or start walking towards the door. Not walking away, just walking towards the door.
You stand up, your chair scooting back, scraping across the floor, and you all hear a thwack as an arm comes forward and a knife is driven into the middle of the table. And you look at the arm connecting to it, and you see a young female, short, kind of boyish cut, wearing a little Newsies hat, nice little suit and bow tie.
What era is this town in?
Just let it go, let it go, let it go.
And like a cigarette hanging out the side of her mouth, and holding the knife. This girl's probably like, you would gather maybe like 21, 22 at best. She just looks at all of you,
who's she standing in between?
Liam and whoever, not Nina, but whoever's on the other side of Liam.
It was probably Chara, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And she just looks at the lot of you. Where the fuck is Terrence? And that's where we're gonna end it for tonight. And that is who.
Archie the Squint. Perfect. This is A though, isn't it?
I mean, I legitimately was thinking this. Okay, real quick. This whole session, I was like, these must be Liam's random children that he's assembled. Like, that has to be what this is. And they're gonna come out of the woodworks to save him. Like, this whole time, I was like, we're about to have like a child revolution to save their savior, which is Liam. Just like where I was like, this has to be it. Has to be what's gonna happen. I was very wrong. I was not good at TV tonight.
So the video I just sent in the meme channel, the middle of it all is what I just imagined happening.
But anyways, so okay. I think we have a basic idea of I can go several ways with what you guys are wanting to do with that. So
I've got no magic.
Can you?
You got no magic. You got a regular dagger again. Your min-maxing went out the window.
You didn't even tell anybody that you have no magic.
It went
Yeah.
very, very poorly. Well, actually, I just tried doing magic with the finger snapping.
Yeah,
That
but you
was
didn't
good.
say anything. Yeah.
Well,
You're making an assumption. Didn't we just went over this?
you're right. You're right. No one else knows that finger snapping thing Zari makes magic happen, but at the very least, Liam knows.
The very least.
That's so funny. Well, good session, everyone.
yeah, thank you guys. Sorry I misled you down some paths.
No, it was awesome.
It was beautiful to watch.
Did you mislead us, or did we mislead ourselves?
No, yeah, it was us.
I was put in charge, and just I should not be put in charge.
I
Occasionally, but tonight was not one of those nights.
I can say as someone who feels like she leads the group a lot, I also never feel confident in those moves.